All right, everyone, welcome back to the 10 BDC podcast. Today, we got a special episode again highlighting the mats. This episode is going to have our new yoga manager, Deann. Deann is coming from Las Vegas. She just moved here recently, and she's going to be teaching and managing the yoga program downstairs for the mats. And soon we will be also having a hot yoga program. And we're excited to share all this news with you and all about the information for the program. And again, we'll have Deann back on the podcast soon to talk more once we start getting the classes going. And again, I'm excited to share that with you guys today. So enjoy today's episode with Deann for the mats yoga. Okay, what's up, everyone? We're back with the 10P DC podcast. I'm Coach Gino, and we got a very special guest today, Deann, also known as Deann, I should say, in proper Tagalog accents. But Deann is our yoga instructor here at the mats. She fairly recently jumped on board here, and she's getting used to the rhythm and rhyme of our operation here at the mats in 10th Planet Daly City. She's been teaching classes about how many times a week now, Deann?
I teach about 4 classes right now.
Let's run through some of the classes we got on the schedule right now for you. We
have Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 o'clock in the morning for the 26 and 2. And then Thursday afternoon, we have, Thursday at 4, we have the yin yang class. And then Saturdays at 10:30 to 12 noon is a traditional 90-minute 26 and 2.
Okay. So I want to get into the class offerings you have. But before that, I kind of want to give everyone an update or just at least an overview of your experience as a yoga instructor. And you've been practicing yoga since when?
I was probably about 16, so that's 2003.
And what was your first introductions with yoga? How did you start practicing?
It wasn't even a hot yoga in the beginning. It was vinyasa, a little bit more of a lighter flow. And I was just very sickly as a child. And I just started basically checking all kinds of movements because I had so much pains. Like I had knee issues since I was a kid. So I was checking even primal movement back then, anything that would benefit my health. And yep.
So you had an injury or when you were younger, or it just was your overall?
I was probably born with knee arthritis. My knees were always hurting.
Okay.
Yeah, my hip. And then I have scoliosis too. I suffered with scoliosis.
This was when you were younger, and so you were looking yourself for something to alleviate the pain and get some therapy?
Yep, definitely. And then I had fertility issues as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was your introduction with originally what, vinyasa, or what was it originally with?
When I practiced vinyasa, I practiced it for like just maybe a month, and then I had a friend that introduced me to Bikram yoga, and then I had a love-hate relationship with it.
Okay.
So I was a working student at that time, and I signed up for a month because they had the promo, and I was like...
This is when you were still 16, right? When you were in high school?
Actually, I was 17 already.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 17. And yeah, I was like, I hated it. I hated it so much because it was hot, and it was too much for me. It was very hot and very hard.
Uncomfortable.
And I was, very uncomfortable. And it was so hard to focus. I wasn't used to just staying still like that. And having like just a command too, it's like, for me, it's too much. But so I signed up for a month. I kept going because I was like, oh man, I have to.
You paid for it, right?
I paid for it.
Yeah.
So I might as well keep going. And then so the next month I was like, oh man, maybe I should take a break, because I can't pay the next month anymore. And I was like, okay, I took a break. But then I realized that, you know what, my body did benefit a lot.
Oh, after that first month.
After that first month, I was forced to do it because I paid for it. Right. But then after a month, I was like, I didn't practice for a while, but then my body talked to me. My body talked to me. It started aching again. I started getting sick again. I was very sickly as a child, and I used to be just always in the hospital. And so I went back. I went back to the hot room. I went back to the studio. I practiced again. This time I practiced for maybe 2 months consecutive. And then after that, I stopped again.
Was it financial because you couldn't afford it, or just like busy, life got busy?
Maybe I think a lot of it is because I couldn't afford it at that time, because I think at that time it was a lot more expensive than how we have it today, because we only had few teachers as well in the area. And this is in Vegas already.
For hot yoga.
For hot yoga.
Okay,
this
gotcha.
is Bikram.
So when you were growing up, the earlier days, you weren't doing hot yet. It was just getting introduced to yoga, right? In general
just
aspect.
yoga, like just gentle flow.
Okay.
Yeah, just the meditation part of it.
And that one, you didn't join a gym or anything. It was doing it self-practice. Like you were all like learning from YouTube and stuff like that?
From YouTube,
right.
And then, I went to the studio too.
Oh, there was a studio?
Yeah, there was a studio.
Okay,
there was a studio I used to go to. But it wasn't very physical. It was more of gentle stretches or gentle flow, and then a lot of meditation.
Yeah. It wasn't as physically, like it didn't require as much out of you physically to practice, right? Hot yoga at the same time, you're sweating, your heart rate's going up, and you're feeling the body have to go through so much, and you're actually like almost exhausting yourself, right?
Definitely.
But that's like the thing. It's funny, like you're putting so much effort into the practice, and you feel like it sucks, like it's painful, it hurts, but then after, it's like the benefits is what hits you, right?
Definitely.
So you start noticing that after your first break, like when you didn't have it in your life, you notice that difference.
Yeah, definitely. I started having more pain. My knees start hurting, my feet, my hips, like all the way up to my neck. And because at that time I was also assisting. I was working at this orthodontic place, and so our posture would always be like this too. So when you don't practice, obviously, then you get used to that pose, right? And then so it affected my scoliosis. I started having more back pain, and or not started, but my back pain came back. All the pains that I've had in the past, and then and I realized mentally it's also good. I did have a lot of benefit. It allowed me to really focus on myself and my body and how my mind is.
Now, when you had your first experience with hot, right, and then you started getting into it, I mean, what started leading you into teaching then after you started learning the practice, and it was you noticed it was doing well for yourself? When was it like, oh, I want to start sharing this with others?
It's when I actually really experienced the benefit of it. I said to myself, this is something that I cannot live without anymore, and that this is something that I would want to teach my kids about, and then I would want to teach my family about, and that also my friends and
the whole community.
The whole community, because at that time we didn't have access to yoga in our town too. So I was like, oh, I hope they could see this and practice this too. And which is actually became part of my mission when I was there in the Philippines. So I would open yoga studios, and then would teach students to become teachers, and then they take over the studio.
This is before Vegas, or like how was this?
This is after Vegas.
So you kind of went back and forth from Philippines to Vegas, right? So for those who are listening, Deann, obviously your background is again as a Filipino, you wanted to bring this service that you found in Vegas back to the Philippines, right? And that's where you started. That's really where the teaching began back home in the Philippines?
The teaching actually began, so my home studio is in Vegas.
Okay.
But then I was like, I should probably go home and then spread the love.
The knowledge, right?
The knowledge. Although there was already there were already Bikram studios when I moved, but only in Manila.
Right, the big city.
Just the big city, but not the small cities, like not the suburbs or provinces.
Okay. And then when you got back, what was that journey like of coming back and sharing this wisdom that you learned and the practice with your home now?
Sorry, what's that?
How was it when you went back home after teaching in yoga? Was it the same as you expected when you came back? Were you like anticipating it to blow up, or did people were hesitant to join at first?
Yeah, so even my parents were hesitant in the beginning. Well, I first started teaching in Manila too. I started teaching at
the bigger city.
all the yoga studios, because at that time I came. So right after teacher training, I went to Vegas, taught for 6 months, and then I was like, okay, let me go home and then teach at the studios there as well. Right. And then from there, I just wanted to see how they are, the culture, because it's different. Yeah. So I was like, okay, let me try this first, and then introduce it to smaller communities, like in provinces. And when I started in this small town, a lot of people were very curious about it, and some people thought that it was just only for the rich people. Yeah. And then so I was like, oh no. So I started having even scholarship programs, and just wanted to let them know that it's for everybody. Yeah. And so although we did open that the studio, my mom helped me open the studio as well. And even then, some of my family and even my parents didn't believe it.
They were hesitant.
They were like, oh, that's not going to work here.
Yeah, but they still went with it just to try to help you a little, right?
Oh, yeah. And then, so eventually, they're the ones who can't even last a day without practicing it.
Oh, really? So they got addicted?
Yeah, so they got addicted to it too. So now it's my sister and my mom managing the studio there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so something you sparked and initially started, but then they took it over and decided to run with it themselves.
And now my sister's teaching too.
Oh, wow. So you really did. It was all kind of just through your own initiative. It wasn't like anyone influenced you to like, hey, come with me to yoga or start doing this stuff. Yeah. Like there's no one that was really asking you to do this. It was a calling in a sense from the practice, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's amazing.
Like, it's a calling.
That's something that's very unique. Like even when we talk about any type of practice or discipline, a lot of times it's an influence from someone else, like someone like, hey, come with me, or someone, a big brother or cousin or whatever the case is. And, the fact that you were able to find that on your own shows how much it means to you. It was something that was just calling out to you and you had to do it.
Yeah.
Definitely. So now as you established that, right, you started teaching and you started building the programs and like everything started going, what was the thing that, as you started to move forward and like see like what was the biggest thing as far as like teaching like you wanted to do as far as like your goals? Like, I mean, what were you trying to do when you teach? Obviously teach people yoga, right? That's the biggest
definitely.
Thing. But what was your goals as you started the businesses and everything?
Are you asking about here?
Back then, first. I mean, I guess the original when you first started.
Well, my initial one is really to spread it and to grow the community and to know more about that there's more to it. There's more to just working out. It's not just a workout, but it's also like a work-in that it can benefit us so much, not just physically, but
mentally,
a lot,
spiritually.
Mentally and spiritually, definitely. And I think that's something that that we're lacking, like in our society right now, like discipline, right? And also that just knowing that in stillness and in quieting the mind, that we get to discover ourselves, because we're so busy.
Right.
We're so busy.
It's a good opportunity, right, to practice stillness, like you said, and just be in the moment. So, as of the practices that you have studied, right? So we've got, of course, the hot yoga, right? What are the other ones that you've been able to or study and understand and teach?
So after that, I did have fertility issues, right?
Right.
And I had been sickly. So, I mean, thank God, I thank my parents because they supported me when I went to Bikram teacher training as well. After that, for some reason, right after training, my hormones got balanced. I couldn't get pregnant for 8 years. And the doctors were like, you only had 5% chances of getting pregnant. Now I have 2 kids, right? And then so right after that, my hormones got balanced. So I did get pregnant after that. And I was less sickly. I still get sick, but not as much as before where I was in the hospital like almost every month, even when I was already in my 20s. And then so, sorry, going back to your question, what is it?
No, so going, it was about going into like the types of yoga that you're teaching. So the hot, I know you do animal flow, right? And
after that, so when I was pregnant,
you did, what do you call that?
I started
prenatal.
Yes. So Bikram's wife, I was in touch with Bikram's wife. So Bikram is the founder of the original hot yoga, right? So Bikram's wife, Rajeshri. So I called her. I was like, can I still practice? I'm pregnant, and I want to keep teaching. And she was like, it's okay. You're going to be okay. And then I had a risky pregnancy too. So she would email me, send me videos, and she's like, okay, this is a good opportunity and you can share this too because you have these issues. This is a good opportunity for you to share your story to people. And then that's what I did. I started adding prenatal to my classes. And when I had Aisha, my eldest, I was like, okay, I want to teach her how to do yoga. How can I make it fun for her, right? So that's when I went to kids yoga teacher training.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Kids yoga.
Kids yoga.
We have yet to add that, but yes. Kids yoga, okay.
Right. But there's a lot of planning for kids yoga, so I focus more on the adults. So I still had kids yoga in my studio, but only once a month. Yeah. Kind of just an event, kids yoga event. And so after kids yoga, we did have martial arts in our studio too. So my brother-in-law was into martial arts, and then he has friends who teach and instruct, and then so we hired him just to teach me, my nephew, and then my Aisha, and then so I was like, okay, why don't you keep teaching here? And then so we did. And I was like, I got so curious about the movement. Like, how can you improve
martial arts? Right?
Yeah. Like, how can you combine them? And then so I was watching these videos. It's the animal flow. I just saw that teaser. And I was like, this is pretty cool. Yeah. It's like a mixture of capoeira and yoga. And my mom, again, was like, do it. Let's...
This time she was like, go for it, right?
My mom is just always like, go for it, right? Like, go for it.
Okay.
And then I was like, so they even went to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. So my mom and my daughter went to the teacher training with me.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And then, so I did just the level 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Of animal flow. Which I would love to incorporate in the future. Right, yeah,
me too.
Especially with martial arts. Yeah.
And that's a good...
there's a lot of great movements. Right?
Yeah. You have this whole other style, or practice that kind of relates to the martial arts side, which is a good opportunity to talk about, here now in the present. Now you're here with us at the mats, right? Let's talk about how you are, like your way of getting in here, and then your journey starting here as a teacher. So again, we gotta shout out to of course my Kuya JP out there. If you guys don't know, JP, if you guys don't know, Crew JP, one of the Muay Thai instructors here. He's every now and then teaching. He was the one who to give us the introduction with Deann, and Deann, I'll let you kind of take over the story from there. Like, again, what was this initial introduction like here?
Yeah, so JP is my fiance now. So we were like thinking if he should go to go to Vegas or if we should move here, right?
You met over in Vegas.
Yeah, we met over in Vegas back in like maybe 20 years ago from now.
And he was on the fence whether he's gonna stay or go to Vegas.
Yeah, but he's been like working here at this same job for more than 10 years now. So he's like, can't leave. And then for us, we're pretty flexible because we're like, we don't even have a family there.
Yeah.
You know? So we're like, kind of like, oh, we're fine. But so we, and then he said, oh, you know what? Let me introduce you to Gino and Joe. And then he's like, you're going to love him. And I did. And as soon as I met you guys, I was like, I just felt that strong, good feeling, like just really good vibe. And I was like, oh, wow, this is great. And this is awesome. There's martial arts and yoga studio. And I was like, it'd be nice to share my knowledge, and it felt like it's also a community. So it'd be nice to be able to share what I've learned as well. And having that experience managing the studio, having studios in the past. I know it's in the Philippines, but we could probably incorporate some of them.
You're in little Philippines, just a little Manila right now. You know that already.
Actually, you know what I was just... I was gonna say, it's like I feel like I'm in the Philippines.
Right? It's funny. It's just not the weather. The weather is the only thing that takes you away from it. But the community here is very, very, very connected to the culture back home in the Philippines. But it is unique in itself too. It is a Filipino American culture which has its distinct differences, and understanding like the community here and the fact that it's not so unfamiliar to you. I felt like you said, it was fitting, right? We're able to kind of get you in here so that okay, these people can relate to you in a lot of ways where other people may not. And at the same time, there's this new territory that we can kind of go into and just try to carve our own way. And that's been the goal here. Is you've been here probably like less than a month maybe, and we've been able to make a good amount of progress so far. The place is growing. If you guys haven't checked out the downstairs space yet, we've done a lot already for renovations here, and we're continuing to do that because I think the goal for us at the Mats with the yoga program was to find someone with expertise, a specialist, right? And that's where you come in, someone who's had that experience, who's already been able to go through the motions of teaching classes, running a program, and understanding what the needs are for a business like this, right?
Totally.
We've been kind of shooting in the dark for many years of like, maybe we try this, maybe we try that, but the fact that you're coming in now and saying, no, that really should be this way or that way, it helps with the direction aspect of things.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I still don't know it all. I'm still learning myself, like especially with social media, like editing now with the AI. It's like I'm not as techie as how I was in the past. I guess
it gets harder and harder,
aging.
Right?
Like, when your parents are like, oh, how do you do this? Like, I feel like my daughter even knows more than me.
We're going to hire Asia to run our marketing.
Edit videos. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the kids eventually going to just take over for us the business with the technology. Because you're right, it does get so overwhelming, like having to do the social media, the content, the emails and everything. But the thing that always brings us to that, I guess, fulfillment factor is just being able to teach, right? Being able to share the wisdom and being able to, provide for the community. It's like, it makes it all worth it when you're able to have your student leave your class and they're happy, fulfilled, and then that you've been able to get your practice in. So that's where we all connect, right? I think no matter what the service, no matter what you're doing, as long as you're doing something beneficial for the community, something that you've actually put time and effort into learning and being able to give it out to others is very fulfilling. And as you start to see the community like grow on over the years, these seeds you plant, they grow and they get into like a whole nother thing. Like the beginning of your days learning yoga, I'm sure you never anticipated you'd be here, like running your programs and having all this experience. But it just turns into something that's unexpected when you just start off with a little bit of interest, right? A little bit of passion about a project. So I'm me and myself, give people in that community, people who want to come in, who want to try yoga. Maybe they're a little intimidated because it's funny, like as much as people are intimidated with the martial arts program, they may be intimidated to come into yoga program, right? But then they'll be able to hear and from your experience what it's done for you. Like you are coming from it from like kind of a life-saving like perspective, right? Instead of it just being like I want to try it to look good or to be trendy and stuff like that, right? It helped you change your whole life.
Definitely. I mean, I never really started with, it was never a physical thing for me. If anything, it was more like a medical issue for me. I had so much health issues. I mean, to look good, being fit and all that, I mean, or trying to be fit and the physical part
it takes care of itself,
yoga.
Right?
Yeah, it's just like a bonus part of
it's a byproduct of
yes,
it, right?
definitely. But, I always ask, at the end of the class, I always ask the students, when they do Shavasana, dead body pose, which is, for me, it's the most important posture in the world. You do Shavasana because we don't get to do that. To just, how do you feel? How does your body feel now compared to before you entered this room?
Right.
And I think that's the part that made me keep going back to the studio. To just, I was just always looking forward to that like the last part, like the end where your blood is just rushing to all parts of your body, like from the bones to your skin. Right.
You're feeling alive.
I feel alive, and you sweat in areas that you didn't sweat before. Like your ankles are sweating. Or like your it's just, it's crazy. It's very rejuvenating.
There you go. That's the word.
Rejuvenating and
what's the word they call it for rejuvenating?
I don't know.
I don't know if there is a
I don't even
rejuvenating.
know. Rejuvenating. I don't know.
These are, like, it's important. Like you
again,
you're
alive again.
You just feel again. It's just something so funny when you physically exert your body to the point where it's like maxed out, where you almost damn near killed yourself, but that's when you feel the most alive, right?
Yeah, definitely. So it's like you die in the class and then you're reborn.
Back to life. Exactly.
You're reborn after that. You're even more alive even before you came.
It's a special feeling. Right? I know from my experience too, like even doing, like I'm not as experienced at all with yoga, but every time I'm done with the practice, I'm like, I did it. I feel so fulfilled with being able to say I've done that hour of practice, right? It just changes the whole day.
Yeah, but I do recommend, though, for first timers, if they're gonna come to class, like just commit to even just 1 week, see how you feel. And I guarantee you, your body's gonna look for it. It's like, it's amazing what yoga can do to your body, your mind, and your spirit. Yeah.
So right now, in the current time, like we talked about the classes already that you're teaching right now. Let's describe a little bit about the classes itself, right? So when you say 26 and 2, can you describe what that means when you're telling people to come to your 26 and 2 class? Okay,
so the 26 and 2 came from the Bikram series. It is the Bikram series. Everybody calls it the 26 and 2 now. It's the original hot yoga. And so the 2 is included in that 26. So that's 26 poses and 2 breathing exercises. Okay. But the 2 breathing exercises they're also poses.
Oh,
so that's part of that 26. So we start with a breathing exercise. We do the next 24 poses, and then we end with another breathing exercise. So we also have the standing series, the floor series. We warm up first, and then balancing series. We have triangle series, and then the floor series.
So the series is different poses.
Yeah, they're different poses. So there are like maybe 3 to like 5 poses in each series of the sequence. So it's a sequence. So every time they take a 26 and 2, it's going to be the same sequence.
But the same sequence, but you said that the series could be different. I mean, as far as like, because you said it's going to be the same every time, right? When you come in.
Every time.
But then what's the difference with like you said, it was the you said the seated
the warm-up series.
So the series are parts of the
parts. Yeah, they're just parts of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
the parts of the whole
parts
thing.
of it. Yeah, so your warm-up series. And then,
I see. Okay.
And then we have
the beginning, middle, kind of end of it. Okay, so you know what to expect is the kind of thing, right?
Definitely. So the more they practice, they gain more confidence. It's like walking or running, trying to learn, right?
Because you already know, like, oh, this is going to be following it, right? So. Yeah, and that's the thing with other yoga practices. It could be anything when you come in to practice.
Right.
Okay. And then of course the hot factor, right? We're talking about the temperatures are what? when we're talking about
So
hot?
I'm not into so much heat anymore. I'm not into
Like when you say that, like you're talking
like
about.
scorching hot, like 110 degrees hot.
That's
I'm
what you used to
not-
teach class at.
That's what I used to teach
In the
class
Philippines,
at.
crazy. it's already
Oh,
it's already like that.
Yeah, in the Philippines and in Vegas too.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I mean, even Bikram himself, the founder of hot yoga, he was like,
Crank it up.
no, he said, why is this effing hot, right?
Yeah.
Like, why is it so hot in here?
So he
right?
would.
So he was
he
like,
came. He
even
came in.
him, yeah, he came to visit
Oh, wow.
the studio in Manila, and then he was like,
It's too much.
why is it? It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
So you need it to be hot, but not overbearing. Right?
Yeah, so he was like, you don't kill the students with the heat.
Yeah.
Kill them with the poses.
Right. So you want to aim for what?
So like maybe 95 to like 100.
Yeah. So
Maybe a max is 102.
at one point, the
That's it.
peak should be what in the class? 105, right? That's the peak we want to
So
be.
we at one point, so back then, it has to be. It had to be 105 to 115
Right.
with 40% humidity. But if the humidity is high, let's say if the humidity is 80, then we have to lower down the heat.
I see.
Because there's a table that we follow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more
So
of like the
depending on the
feel,
humidity
yeah.
and the heat, they have
Yeah.
to vary. Okay. So now we're talking about the 26 and 2 that you offer currently. We're teaching that and just kind of showing people that before we add the heat element, right? Because right now the studio is currently in renovation, and hopefully we're done soon. Just knock on wood. We're trying to get this heat working in here, right? But right now you can try the 26 and 2 at the end, sans heat, no heat involved, and you can get used to the poses and kind of prepare yourself for when we do add the hot yoga classes, right? That's kind of the goal that we have for these classes. And it's going to be how long for the class?
So we have Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have the 6 o'clock, and we call it Express 26 and 2.
Okay.
Because I know people might probably need to take their kids to school or like go
Right.
back to work, right? Or
So
like
we-
go to work or go to school. So yeah, just an express class, 16 minutes, 1 hour long.
So Express is in 1 hour.
Express is 1 hour,
Because traditionally it's how long?
90 minutes.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
hour and a half is the traditional practice of a 26 and 2, right?
Yeah.
So 26 and 2 Express, guys, in the morning, 60 minutes, right? And then what other, and the other classes, are you doing a full 26 and 2 yet, or we haven't added that on the schedule yet?
We actually have it this Saturday. Every Saturday we have it.
Okay,
So that's
Saturdays we have it as well. So Saturdays we have the full 90-minute 26 and 2. So
10:30 till
12.
noon.
12:30, okay. So downstairs,
you get
guys.
so hungry.
Yeah, if you guys come in to open mat, you want to get a couple rolls in and then go down for some hot
Yeah,
yoga,
there you go.
or
It'd be-
26 and 2 for now, then you'll be able to. So then on the other side of that, right, we have the 26 and 2 offerings, and then was there something else that you're also adding to the schedule?
So I teach yin yoga
Okay.
as well. So yin is more like, so we do have restorative yoga, right? So it's the difference is restorative is more like a passive, like to make it comfortable, right? Like to make it more relaxing. Yin yoga is more active, like active stretching,
a little more movement.
and which is focused more on the fascia,
Okay.
like the deepest connective tissue that we have, which is very healing as well. So we mix that. We call it yin yang.
Okay.
So we do mix some vinyasa. Sometimes depends on how
The group is.
yeah,
right?
the group is. I mix vinyasa. Sometimes I even incorporate the 26 and 2 with the yin poses because you hold the poses for 3 to 5 minutes, a little longer, with props, of course, with the bolsters or blocks or
Okay.
straps.
And when is this
but-
class offered?
It is offered every Thursday at 4.
Thursday at 4 for the
Yep.
yin class. Okay, and an hour or two or 45?
An hour.
An hour.
Just
Gotcha,
an
gotcha.
hour.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So yin, again, another offering that I'm not sure if we had here before. It might be you might be the first one to also give us the yin class on the schedule. But again, 26 and 2 yin, and then with the plenty of other classes we have. And I mean, you've taught I mean, it's probably everything you've taught here, right? Vinyasa and all that stuff. So I'm sure you'll see Deann if she's covering or whatnot. And yeah, I mean, right now the goal is to get us off off and started with the hot classes officially, right? So until that time, again, everyone, you guys can check out Deann around the gym. She'll be here typically during the 4 o'clock slots in the afternoons, right? I think she's here as well. Kids are training as well.
Yeah,
so how are the
kids are training.
How are the kids liking the training?
Oh, they love it. Yeah, they love it. It was too bad. Aisha wants to continue, but she was preparing for school.
Okay,
but the
great.
little
That's
one,
typical.
she just loves it.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Like
so
natural.
You guys will see the little Deanns around the gym as well. They're coming around. They're training with us. So again, Deann, thank you so much for your time today. We'll do this again. We'll talk more about the program. Hopefully, by the time we talk again, that we have the classes up and running and we have everything else going. But again, y'all check out Deann here at the mats. And again, Deann, do you have anything last words to share with everyone?
I guess if you haven't tried yoga yet, well, it's 26 and 2. I know it gets intimidating, but it's life-saving for me. And yeah, try it out. Commit to your practice. Don't judge it yet. After a week, yeah, you can judge it and then see how your body feels. But I can guarantee you that your body's going to look for it.
Thank you, Deann. I appreciate it. Thanks. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. If you guys have questions, comments, feel free to put them in the YouTube description or in the YouTube comments. Thank you, everyone. Again, Mark, appreciate you. We'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.